Something happens. Everyone hears about it. Everyone is aware of what took place, but no one speaks. This is an extremely common situation. It has occurred many times throughout history, and each time people look back and ask the same question. How did no one do anything? By the time this question is asked, it is already too late. The event is over. Harm has been done, and the silence has become visible. This video is not about a criminal file. It is not a case chronology either. This video follows a different question. Why do people remain silent about things they clearly know are wrong? The Jeffrey Epstein case is one of the most striking modern examples of this question. For years, many people were aware that something was wrong. There were rumors, there were documents, there were complaints. Yet the system continued to function. People continued their careers, society continued as usual, and the silence persisted. At this point, a common explanation appears. People were afraid. This is true, but incomplete. Because fear alone is not enough to explain silence. The human mind does not operate as an isolated machine. Humans think within a social environment. They do not make decisions alone. We look around us. We observe how others behave. We observe how others do not behave. And then we ask, what should I do? But this question usually turns into, if no one else is doing anything, why should I? This is known as the bystander effect, but the term does not fully explain what happens. What actually occurs is more complex. Responsibility disperses within a crowd, and it is not only responsibility that disperses. Moral burden disperses as well. When a person witnesses something wrong alone, they feel discomfort. But when the same wrong is known by society, that discomfort decreases. Because the brain thinks, if this were truly that wrong, someone would surely do something. And so, no one does anything. In this situation, silence stops being a choice. It becomes a norm. Remaining silent no longer attracts attention. Speaking does. The human mind perceives social rejection as a physical threat. This is an evolutionary inheritance. In the past, being excluded from the group meant not surviving. Today, the threat is not physical, but the brain still functions the same way. Loss of reputation, career risk, social isolation. These are the modern forms of exclusion. And so people often think, I know it's wrong, but if I speak, I will pay the price. In the Epstein case, many people experienced exactly this. The issue is not who knew what. The real question is this. Why did so many of those who knew choose silence? Because silence was the least risky behavior within the system, and systems tend to reward silence. Those who remain silent move forward. Those who ask questions do not. Another mechanism is normalization. The first time something is heard, it is shocking. The second time, it becomes disturbing. The third time, it is ignored. And after a while, it becomes just how things are. The human mind cannot live in a constant state of alarm, so it manages danger by ignoring it. This is not conscious evil. It is a form of defense. But the result does not change. Wrongdoing grows within silence. This situation is not unique to one case. In different places and different times, the same pattern repeats. Something feels wrong. People discuss it among themselves, but they do not speak openly. Everyone waits for someone else to take the first step. Institutions remain silent. Communities remain silent. Individuals remain silent. And the silence grows. As time passes, the lack of intervention creates the impression that the situation is normal. The problem does not become invisible, it becomes familiar. What is disturbing is not the existence of wrongdoing. What is disturbing is this: no one truly takes responsibility. There is an important point here. People who remain silent do not do so because they are evil. In most cases, they do not see themselves as bad. Instead, they think, "What can I do alone?" This thought may seem harmless, but when repeated millions of times, the result is destructive. People often imagine evil arrives loudly, but most of the time evil grows within silence, and the thing everyone knows but no one can say out loud is the most dangerous of all. The Epstein case is therefore not only a legal matter, it is a mirror societies must hold up to themselves. Because in such events the real question is not, who did this? The real question is, why did so many remain silent when it was clearly visible? And perhaps the most disturbing question is this: if I had been there, would I have acted differently? Or would I, like everyone else, have chosen silence? The human mind within a crowd is less free, because our thoughts do not belong entirely to us. They are influenced by our surroundings. We share ideas, we share emotions, and sometimes we share silence. That is why this video is not about the past. This video is about today, because these mechanisms still continue, and the question still remains: if one day we all witness something we know is wrong, and no one speaks, would we notice? Or would we, like many people in history, only realize later that we chose silence?